I'm 30! Yay! Well, after deciding to take a completely different tack to sell it to approaching my 30s from last year's commentary, I have decided to approach another film involving someone who's a bit old and actually is in his middle ages. Welcome to 2014's John Wick, starring Keanu Reeves in a film that was considered to help revitalize his career after how 47 Running turned out, and the action genre as a whole, because up to that point, action films were only just starting to escape that rather unfortunate stigma of having quick cuts all the time so you can't see anything.
Okay, when we talk action films, are we also counting superhero films or...
Traditional action films similar to what you think of something like Die Hard, for example, Jordan.
Right. The film was co-directed by Chad Stahelski and David Leitch, Leitch, I don't know how you pronounce it, who are mainly known for being stunt guys on The Matrix. But the Directors Guild of America gave sole directing credits to Stahelski, and Leitch was given producer credit because, and it was written by Derek Kolstad, who would go on to write the next two movies after this in the series. And it also stars. It's actually got quite a decent cast considering its really low $20 to $30 million budget. It's got Ian McShane, Willem Dafoe, and we even reunite with John Leguizamo.
Wow!
Once again.
Also, funnily enough,
awesome.
One of the other producers of this film is Eva Longoria, of all people.
Huh.
She got the money, I guess.
Okay,
I suppose.
So yeah, I should let it be known, this is my first time properly seeing this franchise, and I just gotta say, as somebody who remembers the era where Keanu Reeves was kinda seen as a joke after... that franchise, you know the one.
Oh, don't worry, Joe. I was seen as a joke before, thanks to Johnny Mnemonic.
Yeah.
Oh God, that movie! I've heard of it, but I have not yet seen it.
The problem with him in the 2000s is that for whatever reason, after The Matrix, he kind of started acting in that monotone, boring way in every movie he was in for a good while, and.
It didn't help that he was already becoming a laughingstock along with The Matrix while the franchise was still going, too.
Yeah. So,
but nowadays...
this was basically him finally like, okay, I have to break out of this thing.
And I'm not sure what this franchise did, but ever since John Wick, he is seen as one of the outright legends. To the point where even Cyberpunk 2077 used his likeness to achieve mass social status.
I mean, this is a good franchise, though.
Well, that's what we're here to find out. Where should we start?
Okay, you should start before the Summit Entertainment logo. I'll get more into the UK's release history of this franchise a little bit later on.
All right.
3, 2, 1, click.
Oh my God, the Twilight people made this.
Yeah, I was about to say, one other thing that this franchise helped, Lionsgate to an extent, because until around this point, the Twilight series was over. The Hunger Games series, if it wasn't over, was about to. I forgot when was the last one before the one that got recently. Saw was basically non-existent at this point, you know. So Lionsgate needed something particular that wasn't a one-off project, like a new franchise, and this was the perfect thing for them.
Thunder Road.
We talk about the budget, please. What about the recouping?
It recouped from a budget of 20 to 30 million, $86 million.
Again, not that much, but thanks to the low cost, this was still a huge success.
So this is the movie that, you know, made action thrillers kind of a big deal again, I guess.
Not necessarily yet to be connected to, to a spy story or with sci-fi.
You can say, hey Joe, you can say that Keanu Reeves wanted to make action movies great again.
Okay, you know what?
So,
I will say this.
And this is Keanu after leaving the 47 Running set.
That bad?
Hey, I get it, but it wasn't this disaster, like violent disaster.
Another thing about Keanu Reeves in these movies, the man has now finally found his look. Because, compared to his plain look from The Matrix in the 2000s in general, this is
Also, if he kind of looks like Alan Wake when he's like this.
That's fine by me.
So what you're saying is, and we need to make an Alan Wake movie
in fact,
starring Keanu Reeves.
That would be literally perfect casting. I am not
Honestly,
even kidding when I say
considering
that.
his voice actor is made to resemble him, I would rather just take him. But it's also, if you know anything about the story as a person of Keanu Reeves, you know that he never had any particular moment of happiness for a very long time. Always trouble with something. So after the mid 2000 onward, particularly also thanks to this, he finally started to actually gain a bit more relaxed in terms of career and life.
That's nice.
good for
no,
him.
waking up at 6 a.m. and that's yeah.
It looked like he was dying there.
Because I think correctly, it's another thing where we started Medias Res, Drova.
Oh wow, so he dies as soon as the first movie. I didn't know we were dealing with his ghost in the other 3 sequels.
Yes, that's the big Metal Gear plot twist. You weren't actually seeing this guy or seeing his ghost.
Okay, well, this is an action series that verges on more realism. Sure, people might be a bit too acrobatic potentially, but there isn't stuff like super strength or super speed. But there's still some degree of suspension of disbelief in terms of survivability.
So from what I can understand, one of the big standing out points on this is that Reeves apparently insisted on doing a lot of his own stunts and, getting into very good shape for the role.
He's
kind of like Tom Cruise, like he prefers to do it himself.
His wife is dead.
Meet the titular John Wick. He had a wife. She died.
Well,
The end.
Well, from what I hear, at least he still has a dog, right?
Well, that's not yet, Jova.
Not yet. Wow, this is up, huh?
Yeah, damn, yeah.
Shut
yeah.
up,
If you want,
Steroid.
there you go. So there you are, ladies and gentlemen. If you wanted an abridged version of Up, but with Keanu Reeves, this is your movie.
Do it, Disney! I dare you.
I mean, the initial segment is short anyway.
Yeah. I want an Up Elseworld film where Carl just shoots everybody.
Oh, how sad. But I guess he still has a job to go back to.
And hey, he's not got a bad car, or not a bad house for that matter.
But it is.
About this steel filter, like
It's to express how sad it is.
I
You know-
get it. It's just that it's weird.
It's funny. The Rock also starts a similar way. I guess this was really trying to reignite action films.
Of course, a mysterious figure watches the key character at a funeral cliche.
So what's the balance of, satire, comedy, but seriousness of this
Oh, these
franchise?
movies take themselves very seriously. The levity, I suppose, comes more from the fact that sometimes the situations or the seriousness can loop around themselves. But it's not the case they stop to quip every 5 seconds.
There isn't really so much humor in this, although I will say, I'm not going to mention it at the moment, but there's a line at the start of the second movie that's still very funny to me.
Also, the second movie stars an Italian actor that I actually know.
So what's Norman Osborn here got to say to Mr. Wick?
Let die the woman you love. Oh wait, she's already dead.
Thanks.
I'm something of a mourner myself.
Also, dude, no time to drop the Green Goblin talk. My wife literally died.
We don't want to talk about that.
Yeah. So yeah, Mr. Wick is living in his nice fancy house, but
He has no one to share it with now.
Basically, yeah.
well, he can share it with whoever rung the doorbell.
Hi.
No, I'm Thomas Anderson.
Oh no, it's Did the postal dude sign you to sign this petition? No thanks.
We usually do.
Okay.
Postal people usually
quick-
do ask for someone to sign for something.
All right. I'll quickly mention the release history around here in the UK. The first 2 movies were actually distributed around here by Warner Brothers because I guess
Oh.
Lionsgate couldn't be bothered or something, and we had to wait quite a few months for it to come out around here compared to the US release. But after these, but from the 3rd movie onwards, Lionsgate probably saw the money signs and said, "Okay, you know what, Warner Brothers, you're not taking a cut of our profits. We're having it all to ourselves."
Well played, I guess.
A last gift from his wife.
Bridget Moynihan is playing Helen,
Boy,
John's wife.
sure would be awkward if she left him a dog and he turns out to be allergic to it.
I think she'd know if he was allergic
Yeah,
to.
this kind of gift. Oh, it's adorable.
Look at that little face.
Aww.
I guess it's a beagle.
Yeah, I'm pretty. A beagle or a hound dog, I think. Either way, they're
By the
both
way,
very cute.
I don't know when I think it was one of the marketing videos from one of the movies, but they actually had the Keanu Reeves in a white room just being swarmed by puppies.
Oh my god.
Dogs are the mascot of this franchise, aren't they?
Very ironic.
In a sense, yeah, I'd say.
But in terms of thematic, potentially, because loyalty and where do you want to go is actually a good important theme.
So,
This is a beagle, I take it.
Mm-hmm.
I guess in some sense, this dog is his one lifeline left to his wife. Oh god.
Yeah, Daisy.
Wait, his
yeah,
wife-
'cause
Oh,
your wife's
let me guess.
squishy.
Let me guess. It's one of those you're staying only tonight on the bed and then stays there forever.
Yeah, exactly. You go on the floor for one night.
Come on.
I love you, wife. That's basically it.
You stay there. They're not gonna stay there.
I give it 2 minutes.
That's not much, Drova.
Yeah, that's generous. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Okay, at least waited until
Wake up, Daddy!
till the morning.
Yay. Feed me.
Of course.
All right, give me a minute, jeez.
Aw.
Aren't you usually supposed
Yeah.
to bring in the paper?
Morning poop.
I hate newspapers.
Well,
Can't even read them.
well, at least the dog knew to do it outside.
No, I cannot give you coffee.
Gotta feed me.
Here, have some cereal.
Huh.
Oh my god.
I guess- I
Very
guess
surprised they did not sneak in product placement for the cereal release.
I was gonna say it's like you gift him the dog, but you don't also add kibble to.
I was about to
the
say,
kid.
so you just give him the dog, you don't provide the dog a bed, food, a dispenser, or even,
Jesus.
a place to go.
Hey, Shiroi, you can say that the creators of this franchise are to dogs what he knows to cats.
I guess.
So I guess it's the bring your child to work day, I guess.
Maybe,
What?
maybe that's how Deca Police starts. Deca Police starts with the main character's cat dying and he swears revenge.
I gotta
Of
say,
course.
this seems to be a very wholesome story about a man and his dog.
Oh, gee, I wonder what kind of person this guy's gonna be coming in with his blaring audio from his car.
That's from the singer of S Gonna Give It To You.
Run
I don't know,
DMX?
but
Sounded like him. If I recall correctly, we're speaking Russian.
yes, they are. So this is Alfie Allen playing Yosef, who we'll know more about later. He's actually a English actor.
Huh.
Nice.
Obligatory nice.
More than you could ever afford.
Oh my god. The poor guy was in The Predator.
Oof.
Most recently, he was in an episode of Transformers Earthspark.
Which I've heard is pretty good, so an improvement.
Mm,
Yeah,
That's
I'm sure
not
it's nothing.
ominous at all.
yeah.
Not worth it, dude. Oh, we're suddenly in Breaking Bad.
And now we got the sepia tone
Yeah,
out.
we switched from the teal filter to the Hollywood Mexico one. Like,
Whoa, careful.
Oh? Does Mr. Wick have... well, I guess he has quite the place to work at. Although, according
very
to that
surprised
car...
the dog is not sticking out.
So, according to that car, he's from New Jersey. Oh, boy.
Hello and welcome to Fast and Furious.
No, please.
Okay, John Wick and Fast and Furious. That could maybe help revitalize the franchise.
The dog's just thrown up in the car.
Yeah, basically, it's like, what the fuck are you doing?
Daddy, stop!
Unless he's like been left at the office or something.
There you go. Honestly, Job, the only major game that I think could... Okay, to be fair, no, John Wick was actually a guest, a crossover in a game, Payday 2, actually.
Is he also in Fortnite?
I don't know, possibly, who knows. Compared to a lot of other, products, he probably would fit much better in that.
Let's see.
See?
Now you can come on.
Only a night.
Yep, he's in Fortnite.
Yeah,
So you can indeed have John Wick rock it out alongside Optimus Prime, Solid Snake, Peter Griffin, and Goku. Fortnite really is the crossover town bike.
Oh.
Rude.
I just woke up.
How dare you not let me give you money for your car? Have you got subtitles for the Russian on your
Yes,
end?
hard.
Yeah, we do.
No,
Uh-oh.
you wouldn't.
Oh, yes, they will.
They did.
They did.
And here's where the meme comes from.
It's not
Yep.
just, again, give it to all context. Everything that is about to happen in his entire franchise, it's because these jackasses killed a dog.
Wow.
And they're about to nick his car.
I mean, I think even with the car, he might have let it go. But the dog, his last lifeline to his wife, which...
I mean, to be
Yep.
again, also put in context, the big act of cowardice because the dog was not even in a condition of actually injuring them. It's just a fucking puppy.
They left-
Jesus.
Yeah,
And
they were cowering, and howling. They weren't attacking. Or...
And they left the corpse of his dog right next to him to wake up beside.
Mobster tactic. The Russian mafia is, again, kind of terrifying in what they normally do, Joe, if you know some stories.
They killed his dog and took his car, and now he's got to bury someone else close to him.
It was given to him by something close to him, as was said. And that, this is what I was referring to earlier about a line I find really funny because Tio just said all that now. It's basically at the start of the next movie. They're just kind of like, all this because we killed his fucking dog.
I guess the thing is they...
Sorry, go on.
I guess the thing is, they did not know who they were messing with. Like, we've already seen that.
Oh, no, they did not.
You know, this reminds me, like, basically the V-Rock radio station from Grand Theft Auto Vice City on the PS2 has a lot of, you know, mock commercials that are meant to be parodies of movies like these. And it starts with, Tim, we need you. I'm a man of peace now. I'm done killing. I want to raise a family. That's just it, Tim. They've got your family. No!
Yeah, if you want a comparison instead, Jova, I guess a good comparison would be, for example, the Taken movies. Rather, instead of being kidnapping, it's still an act of revenge of some kind of people, and they just got the wrong.
Oh, hi, sound like Guzzarmo.
Luigi.
Hey, John. Who recently did great in Encanto. So, nice
Honestly,
to see that his career.
Who is he in
survived.
Encanto?
Bruno. Sure.
Yeah.
Ah, cool.
They don't want to talk about
It's a good
it.
thing he survived the Mario movie bomb. So.
Well, like he said, although attributing to him the wrong role, he also voiced a character in, I think it was Murphy actually, either Murphy or Globox in Rayman 3, but I was not particularly fond of the humor.
Huh.
Actually, we haven't talked about these Dwibs. Who did the score for the movie?
Tyler Bates and Joel J. Richard.
All right then.
I get the feeling our Mr. Wick here has something of a checkered past.
Mm-hmm.
Let me guess, he's having the tags removed from his car to
Also,
go
you
to
know
work.
you know he's a true friend because the first thing you do, because he does, even before start talking properly, is to serve actually drink. What a bro.
Yeah. That's some loyalty.
What a story, Mark.
Yeah.
He deserved that.
Not enough, Drova.
You're really gonna mess with Luigi? That is a man who does not fear death in the business.
Old man? How old was John Leguizamo at this point?
I think around his 50s.
Let me check.
The thing is,
like
they don't
50
look particularly young either.
He was
even
like
though they're supposed
54
to
at
be
this. He
younger.
was 54 at this point.
Okay, he's 63 now, so yeah, he probably was in his 50s around the time. Even still, he doesn't look...
He doesn't look in his 50s.
Hey, so...
Maybe he drank whatever Sakurai drinks.
And then the Russian guys, and then the guy who did all the bad stuff is like, see, you got another car? What's wrong with you?
So...
Uh-huh.
So your son is grounded, literally.
Yeah.
Forever.
Yes. Yes. Always the best response to it. Oh yeah, this is the late Michael Niev.
Type it in, Dwibs. I might be able to read it.
He was a Swedish actor who sadly passed away in 2017 at the age of only 56.
Ah, jeez.
Nick Vista.
So...
Yeah, it was lung cancer.
Again,
Shit.
I'm guessing...
Dressed like Sagandra.
I'm guessing the name John Wick has some weight in the underworld of crime.
It's also the classic thing of the leader mobster is a bit, not a lot, but a bit more wise, while their, heir tends to instead be more reckless and abusive of their power just to fuck shit up.
That is also a trademark of action films like this.
That's because, Joe, there is some truth in television. When it comes to generations of mafia leaders, it's a very sad reality where the children of the boss tends to be reckless and just abuse the money and power.
Ironically enough, it's the heirs that bring an end to the criminal empires when you get down to it.
Because of these reasons, yes. It's very, very complicated.
Son, you have done rightfully screwed up.
Again, you're grounded forever.
You'll be lucky if you're not literally grounded when Mr. Wick is done with you. 10 feet under.
He has no idea yet, does he?
Nobody tells him.
I want it to be a surprise.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh. Sorry, I haven't seen this movie for a while, but... And I've only seen the first two.
Imagine having your whole operation be done in because your son just had to pick on the one man who will absolutely tear it all down.
It's time for corporal family, corporal punishment.
One that you hit the car, mate.
The dog, too.
Okay. Yeah.
No. That's another movie.
Hey, that's the title
of the movie.
You also killed his dog, so, there's literally nothing I can do for you. You're dead.
And son, really, killing his dog, we're mobsters, not cartoon
He was
villains.
annoying me!
Again, we are supposed to be respected criminals, not Saturday morning cartoon
Inapte
villains.
children? Why
Wait.
that nickname?
Wait, respected criminals? Huh. Bit of an oxymoron there.
But yeah, John used to work for these guys.
Oh
Well,
boy.
it's kind of like with something like Han Solo, who's a thief with a heart of gold.
Usually the idea of the respectable criminal gentleman is, the idea that there are rules in the criminal empire. As silly as that may seem, there is, in a lot of cases, meant to be a code of honor.
Allow me,
A pencil? What is...
Yeah.
Joker, eat your
Oh
heart
no,
out.
if you have enough force, you can stab someone very brutally with a pen or something.
Oh, I get that,
Yeah.
but he killed 3 people. It was 3 on 1 with a pencil.
Yes, Pedro?
Allow me, Joe. I have a perfect example from. Look at Tony from Scarface Dwibs, where he refuses to kill a car with children in it.
Mm-hmm.
And he was killed as a result.
Well,
But still, he did have a
that's
sense of
beside my point.
honor.
Yeah, that's beside my point. So yeah.
Hell, again, ironically, over in Japan, the Yakuza and the cops would have professional arrangements to help keep certain places clean, believe it or
That's
not.
because it's all connected to how mafia began to begin with. The idea of offering an alternative to the state for, protection and, help towards the citizens. The idea of the state won't help you, but we will. The problem is that, as you can imagine, being organized crimes, degenerations happens very quickly.
Mm-hmm. I'm new to the franchise, and even I have a good idea that this boy is in way over his head.
He's young and naive.
And
Yes.
yeah, much like Kratos, John did bury his past and now has to dig it up.
Honestly,
Yeah, but Daddy Dearest is like, you're already dead, and I want nothing in this.
Like, this is your problem.
Oh, what's that he has?
An agenda. I get the idea, yeah, let's have a call first.
It's a phone book.
Oh. Hey, remember the days when landlines were used more than mobile phones? The good old days.
So we have a Swedish actor playing a Russian.
I mean, it could be all of the above. Well, for goodness sake, John, at least say hello.
Yeah, no.
Civilized men
Yeah.
who beat
Hangs
dogs.
up.
Civilized men who
Well,
beat
I
dogs to
tried.
death.
Yeah, he tried.
I mean, he did.
He
Like,
really
you know.
did.
Nothing.
No.
Yeah.
Oh boy. It's not just gonna stop at the sun, is it?
Everyone. Yeah.
Well,
yeah, bring it, everyone.
let's see. Judging by the posters that I've seen of...
Adjuvat.
He's got all them tattoos.
Basically, fortune favors the brave.
Oh, dressed for business, are we? Hurry, fall asleep, or the boogeyman will come for you.
Yeah, and like all good assassins, you must dress snazzy for the part.
Understandable.
Also, worth
He went,
noting
I see
is
he went to
actually-
the I see he went to the Agent 47 School of Assassins.
It's gotta be, stylistic waves. Also important to note is, just to note, also the pacing is actually not that bad.
Yeah, it's actually pretty good. Like, it sets up the plot. The plot is relatively simple, but we know enough of the players already before the half-hour mark. For a movie that's an hour and 41 minutes, that's not too bad.
Although, funnily enough, some of the actors they had in mind to play John Wick, one of the producers, Iwan Yik, he envisioned older actors to play John Wick, including 83-year-old Clint Eastwood or 71-year-old Harrison Ford.
I get the idea why they wanted that. The entire point is that John Wick is retired and want to, live a peaceful life, but he's brought into action. So a character like, an actor like Clint Eastwood probably would have been perfect for the role.
Especially since Clint Eastwood kind of did something akin to that in, I think the
Dirty
movie's
Harry.
called The Unforgiven, which is essentially this, but with a Western, essentially, where he's an old, retired Wild West criminal tasked to bring in a newer blood form of criminal, which also worked as a bit of a deconstruction to the Wild West genre.
And there we are, the series is trademark famous action scenes.
And you also
Well,
can
started
tell
anyway.
that, these are still good stunts because, we don't get a gajillion different micro cuts.
Oh yeah, no. Again, it's action that you can track, which is definitely a plus.
I don't remember if the franchise has one track scene at some point. I think the most recent movie might have had one.
Well, that's the thing, because the polar opposite to this, Taken 3 came out the same year.
Yeah, and already the first movie had been memed, but by the time of the sequels, they were seen as a joke.
Let's see. The most thing I know about Taken is Liam Neeson is essentially a man with a remarkable set of skills who will do
He's
everything
also retired
he can.
and with a family, but the first movie they kidnapped his daughter, of course. I don't remember what happens exactly in the sequels, but they basically try to replicate the formula by having similar circumstances. While in these movies, it's a constant escalations because John's actions, create consequences that will have an impact on him instead. It's kind of a bit like how in Die Hard 3, we get the brother of a bad guy of the first movie, walking and revenge.
I wonder, so is the idea that Taken was originally potentially going to be the return of the action film genre, but then it crapped the bed with the sequels and people were like, you know what, never mind.
I don't know. Messy.
That's gonna take a bit of cleaning up to. Oh.
We already cleaned up when the poor dog died.
Oh shit! I forgot pizza delivery.
Oh,
That doesn't look like pizza to me.
I don't think the pizza guy usually shows up with red flare lights or whatever the fuck that I hate looking at.
It's the policeman. Sorry, Mr. Copper, nothing to see here. Please, come take a look. Don't look at the body, please. Right.
We were watching the wrestling. Yeah, that's. Oh, good thing they know him.
Just keep the noise down.
I get the idea. Yeah, this guy knows what's happened. Wisely decides to nope out.
I wonder if this movie is, because I know it happens in other media too, but I wonder if this movie specifically is the reason we have Does the Dog Die?
Possible.
I would not be surprised. I mean, granted, I know dog steaks were kind of a thing in movies before, but I would not be surprised if John Wick was what essentially troop codified it.
The idea of the death of a significant figure to another to, motivate revenge is as common as storytelling. The problems start to happen when it's, it's done in a very manipulative way, like, for example, the fridging mechanics.
So there we are, a new phrase to learn. Dinner reservation, which means, could you please clean up all the dead bodies?
Codes.
I mean, someone has to do it. If the pay, let me put it this way, Dwibs. If the pay is good, I will do it. I don't really have a problem in doing that.
Yeah, the cleaner is played by David Patrick Kelly, who is a actor, musician, and lyricist who's been in a lot of movies like Malcolm X. He was also in Twin Peaks, both the 90s one and its revival in 2017.
As you can imagine, however, again, this is one of the cases where there's a bit of levity, like Ichiro said, there's not too much humor, but this is still, a bit of tongue-in-cheek, handling the situation. But also, just to note, in case you're wondering, yes, as you can imagine, cleanup crew needs to have regular therapy because of the jobs they do, so don't take things for granted too much on them.
I guess one has to wonder when going up against John Wick. Are you getting paid enough?
I think most of the time the answer is no, but go on to you.
It's the dilemma of all of these action products that employ mercenaries. Like, at some point, someone has to question about if their pay is enough, considering the person in question has slaughtered already like half of the contingent. And then it creates the whole thing about being kind of wasteful. This is why early FPS had to put the stake of enemies who will have a perfectly good justification of attacking him despite everything. Demons for Doom, Nazis for Wolfenstein.
Wow, he's willing to use his own son as bait for Wick.
I mean, as we saw before, Daddy Dearest is not exactly, particularly merciful, and to be fair, he did screw up royally. So.
I do have to wonder, though, would Wick have let things go if, Vigo just gave him his son to kill?
It's an interesting question, and I honestly don't know if that would have happened or not.
Because, one does wonder, maybe Vigo miscalculated sending, I guess those guys were the boogeymen after him, and... Oh, I'm guessing Willem Dafoe is the wolf. Yeah, similar to Bullet Train, it looks like, I'm guessing, let's call them the boss fights of the movie, all have special code names.
I wanted to see that movie.
On its own, it's fine, but as an adaptation, it's not exactly great.
Wait, it's
I
an
didn't
adaptation?
even know it was an adaptation
Me neither.
for a book, I'm guessing.
A manga.
Damn, Marcus, it's really easy
Let me give you
to,
the links, so give me a sec.
yeah, damn, $2 million, and you'll say, okay, I'll kill one of my old friends.
I guess it's just business, but seriously, Norman, really?
Sometimes it is, Drova, when it comes to hired assassins.
Live by the sword, die by the sword. So, what exactly is Wick's overall plan? Take down just, well, I guess, now that the mob is sent stuff after him, it's personal, but, like, what's his overall game plan? Tear everything down and burn away the ashes? Or go in
Survive.
Well, I get that he's trying to survive, but what's his overall revenge plan? Like, is he gonna go scorched earth, or is he gonna go for a more surgical take?
Just kill the sun and anyone that gets in his way.
Basically.
So that really does make one wonder. Maybe Vigo could have gotten off easy if he just threw his son to the wolves.
Again, it's a valid question. Instead of just answering bluntly no, it would have still killed him. Like, there is a degree of wondering if that would have happened.
I guess one...
Also... Sorry, go on.
I guess, in a sense, I can get why Vigo did it, since... John Wick is definitely showing us he is certainly the man you want on your side, not against.
Also, by mistake, Bullet Train is adapted from a novel.
Okay, and now we've got the main hub for all assassins, the Continental Hotel. Specifically, this branch in New York.
Yeah, it looks like a discount Flatiron building.
I was about to say... Wow, the Daily Bugle has seen better days.
And there he is, the late Lance Reddick as Sharon, the hotel manager.
Wow, they really do have quite a cast for this movie.
Oh, and also we got Adrienne Palacki, fresh off her Wonder Woman failure.
Oh my god, that's right! That was in 2011. She would later go on to be Bob in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Well, it makes sense. Wonder Woman was a psychotic killer in that pilot, so of course she'd be an assassin here.
Pants to be darkened indeed. Okay. Of course. Cheerio.
Oh, so he's a favorite.
I mean, I get the idea. He's, he can please as a customer very well.
A hotel specifically for assassins.
I can't believe that.
Yeah, no, I can believe it. I actually do like some projects that look into the inner workings of criminals and heroes. Venture Bros has a whole legit network where the heroes and villains have to maintain a rulebook, essentially.
And we have the Punisher, who gets to have safe houses all over the world, and nobody knows how he manages to maintain or how nobody finds him out.
I've always chalked it up to the fact that he has very loyal friends who are A-okay with him permanently taking out the monsters that need to be put down for good.
It's that weird thing about how the Punisher really, really doesn't fit with most of the rest of the Marvel universe, but it just happens.
In fact, didn't he actually start off as a Spider-Man villain in the Clone Saga, when you think about it?
Later on, he became more acquainted with, characters like Daredevil or Luke Cage, the Heroes for Hire, which makes more sense.
It just sounded interesting that a lot of Marvel characters kind of started off with Spider-Man when you think about it.
Just happens. Wolverine started as a Hulk enemy.
Yeah, that was a thing.
I'm guessing this is the Red Circle. or it's the bar of the
Well, Vigo.
no, it's the bar of the Continental.
Is that also called the Red Circle? Because wherever the Red Circle
I
is,
don't. Nah.
At least it's not the Hellfire Club. It's like, I don't mean the Marvel Universe, like a lot of fictional
And there's
properties
the
also have.
there's the Continental's big boss Winston, played by Ian McShane.
Yes, this is the bar where all the weirdos are.
well, I guess assassins gotta find some break time themselves.
Yes.
So what, is he like the James Bond of assassins?
Well, James Bond is an assassin, Joe.
John Wick is the kind.
Most of his missions are about killing someone who's evil.
Let's put it this way, Joe. This is a franchise with an original body without being an adaptation. But you can tell that if it was based on a novel, John Wick himself, the character, would probably be a self-insert of the author because of wanting to be super cool and getting all the ladies.
Heh.
It's the kind of it's kind of similar to the protagonist of the Dan Brown trilogy. The guy that in the movies is played by Tom Hanks.
So he's making it pretty much clear. You go this far, there ain't no going back. He is actually willing to go to these lengths over a dead dog. Again,
I mean, yeah,
Remember,
fair
like
enough,
people make the memes about it, but like
when you know the context,
it's very personal. Like it's not just a dog.
Oh yeah,
it's also a raison d'être. Like John at this point has nothing left.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, like admittedly, it's a meme outside, but once you actually get the context, you really get it. Which, to be fair, that's kind of the case with almost any good franchise. Like, if you just hear about something summed up outside, it might sound silly. Like,
I also like this
yeah.
franchise.
Yeah. One main purpose of the Continental is to provide a safe haven for assassins. So you can't do any killing on the grounds, or else you will be killed by
everyone
by Winston
else
and his
there.
men. Unless, with the exception of self-defense.
It's, again, holy ground. It's kind of like the holy ground rule for the mortals in Highlander, which will be disrespected
For the
starting
first
with that
movie,
game.
anyway.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that's cool.
So
with
it
that.
sounds like people normally don't get out of this business, so it makes you wonder, how did Wick get out?
Well, I guess he got enough money to be able to retire.
He asked really nicely, "Can I please leave?" Okay.
Basically. And considering he's very good, probably nobody told him no. Who's the barmaid? Cheer.
Bridget Regan. She's mainly been in stuff like The Legend of the Seeker, The Last Ship, and she was Dottie Underwood in Agent Carter.
Okay.
Huh. Interesting.
Bulletproof vest. Yeah, another thing of the club is obviously to provide funds and resources. In case of John, bulletproof vest and more equipment.
So, from my understanding, John Wick is the best there ever was in the business.
That's very easy what he does, yes.
Boy, Wolverine would love it here. It is humanizing that even assassins need some good break time.
It's more of also the inner workings of organized crimes in different facets of it.
True, like, hey, if you're hiring a skilled hit person, you probably want them treated well so that they aren't having second thoughts about who they're working
in general,
for.
It's a business, so of course the better it's handled, the more it's handled, the better it is.
Oh, I'm guessing that this place is the red circle where the sun is at.
Think so?
Yeah.
So where did they film these Dwibs? Actually in New York or somewhere else?
I'll check.
Considering the low budget, probably not. If it's Lionsgate, probably Canada.
Around New York City, actually.
Impressive.
On location. And that's no small feat given that New York City is not the easiest nor the cheapest place to film.
And again, with this kind of budget, again, it's interesting to see people like Bloom, Jason Blum, or, also companies like this having to work around with what they have.
Admittedly, I guess the lack of needing to use CGI probably maybe helped them with the budget.
Probably. Especially because the actors that are employed, technically are not cheap on their own. So...
They also must have maintained a good tight schedule for that. Oh, nervous are you?
Hey, it's Kevin Nash.
Heh.
You're not on the list.
And yes, in case you don't know, Kevin Nash is mainly known for being a professional wrestler, but also he was Super Shredder in TMNT 2.
Oh, good for him. For what little there was.
Well, Kevin Nash is known for being a really smart guy, so well done there, mate.
Also,
Yeah.
good on John for actually providing, a one chance to escape for that guy. The others will not be that lucky.
It seems like John's a relatively good and understanding guy, and it helps to actually be a friend of his.
Or at the very least, to not be against him.
Nighty night.
Hey, wait a minute. That bloodstain wasn't... Oh!
I also love this kind of playing around with the hard subs, in which some words are more stylized.
Like a cheap suit. That'll be the
fucked
last
up my
thing you
face.
hear. I see they have a few good discretion shots to, I assume, keep this PG-13.
Well, there is still
Actually,
blood and swearing.
It's rated.
So
It's rated 15 round here.
Oh wait, let me check and see the rating.
it's just that sometimes they prefer to do this stylistically.
Oh, never mind. It was rated R here, so swear away.
I remember this was also around the time the first Deadpool movie, had started going around. So it was also a resurgence of R-rated movie managing to be very successful for a broader audience once again.
Yeah, for those who don't know, R-rated movies do sometimes tend to be a bit of a gamble because, for obvious reasons, they can't reach as wide an audience.
And companies all the time want to be, the sequel needs to be PG-13 so we can attract all the kids. And they never.
Can I come back now?
For
I'm
now,
guessing
yes.
so.
We're still technically in the
Okay.
nightclub, but on the upper floors.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, well, at least he gets to die listening to an upbeat song.
Not sure how comforting that is, Jova.
I guess try and find any comfort you can.
Hey, target enemy spotted.
Now, he probably could easily just snipe the guy, but I get the feeling Mr. Wick doesn't want to take it that easy.
And yeah, another thing that would be almost a recurring enough for the franchise. Action sequences that are stylized with a particular shade of lighting to give it a almost cyberpunk vibe to them.
That's cool.
Not yet. Needs to be savored.
Oh, he's gonna take his time. Like, he had a clear shot at the
Ow.
dude, but it was like, you know what? No, your time ain't yet. Oh,
What
pulled out the
honourable
big
man
gun.
Joseph is.
Mm-hmm. Definitely some Dirty Harry inspiration.
Hey, I saw Blade Runner too.
Which cut? There are like a gajillion of them.
That final cut, I think, is called.
Okay. Okay, we're back in the nightclub, Shiroi.
Alright, so it's a game of find the asshole in the needle stack.
And then John casually finds Blade in the meantime. Like, first time.
Well, there's some people still dancing even though there's a loud gunfire.
Well, have you been to one of these nightclubs? The music can legit deafen some folk there.
Yeah, I don't like. I can imagine why it appeals to someone, but it cannot to me.
Me neither.
Also, I wonder if a lot of the goons have, a red shirt just so they can also mask better the blood effects. Empty.
That would actually be a good way to save on them. Imagine being that one guy who thinks, oh my god, he's actually sparing me after one shot. Nope, just reloading the clip.
You can also tell the lower budget because some of the injuries are not really particularly shown on screen, and sometimes, when John is shooting someone in the chest, he doesn't seem to leave visibly a lot of things, and a lot of stuff is added in post-process. The following movies will improve on this front.
Again, to give them credit, it does look like they shot around their budget relatively well.
You have to understand, John, that Lionsgate is not as big as the other, major movie companies.
Oh,
like
I
Disney,
know.
Warner Bros. So they're kind of forced to do this.
I'm not too surprised. Like,
It's a
Lions...
sink or swim situation.
Like, seriously, Lionsgate and Summit hit some gold with Twilight, and while I don't like that series, I get why they clung to it like a lifeboat.
Same thought process for me when it comes to the Hunger Games. Even if I don't like those, I can understand why they would cling to them and how profitable they are.
And also, like Tio said, Lionsgate isn't like a huge studio. They're not part of that AMPTP group for a start.
This is also why they also greenlight a lot of projects in terms of smaller adaptation, because they can potentially smell talent when they see it, and something that can give them a quick buck.
I think a good way to put it is, like, it feels like Summit and Lionsgate are the kind of company that tend to have some of these big hits fall into their laps, as opposed to always going on the hunt for them. But when they do get one of these hits that fall into their laps, they will do anything they can to profit the hell out of it, to its reasonable conclusion. Hell, they kind of also did that with... Oh wait, no, was Alpha and Omega theirs?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, like...
They also had other minor, animated projects that were still shit, like the Gummy Bear movie.
Oh right, that was them.
Yep.
Like,
it's also why a couple of reviewers on YouTube, when they see the Lionsgate logo, they dread in fear.
Like, it's like Lionsgate are the smallest of the big companies.
Oh, so now people notice that.
Well, given the gunfire from earlier, I guess eventually they had to sober up in here.
Cool.
Yep.
Those were not like the subs from earlier, so what was that saying?
Basically, you're fucked. Also, I just noticed the bad guy was using an iPhone.
Wait, he was?
Apple let one got away, holy shit.
How? They don't notice that?
Or was... okay, question. Like, when did they start that policy of no bad guys can use iPhones?
Because I think the first we heard of it was from... Knives Out, yeah.
Let's see.
Also, yes, as you can imagine, this kind of service for assassins include also medical assistance for these
Okay,
occasions.
From what I can gather, it seems that this thing was as early announced as February 26, 2020.
Okay, so way after the... Maybe it is actually a policy we started investing later on.
So in order for Americans to get good, accessible healthcare, you have to become an assassin. Okay.
And hey, speaking of
I can believe that.
And hey, speaking of ex-Matrix guys, the Doctor is played by the Keymaker from the Matrix 2.
Okay, that one has to be intentional.
Probably.
Later on, we're gonna get Lawrence Fishburne in here too.
Carrie and Moss, if I recall correctly, still held accountable, but I get the feeling she will eventually show up here too. Will probably be a better, more dignified role than in the Bye Bye Man.
The what?
Randall Kim.
The Bye Bye Man?
Very bad movie, Joe. It's a stupid horror movie, Joe. You put it on the list of things you don't want to watch anyway.
Yeah, aside from the Matrix movies, their only noteworthy movie is Memento, Christopher Nolan's Memento, and aside from that, I can't really. I mean, there's she did show up in she was a major character in Horizon Forbidden West. So at least maybe now she can potentially have more of a career in games. Who knows?
Yeah, I was gonna ask
if she started voice acting more regularly for even.
Yeah, because she did good in Forbidden West, so I wouldn't mind. Might as well. Why not? Since apparently she's not really getting movie roles. Apparently.
I'll admit, stuff like Even the Best Friend being out to kill our protagonist reminds me of stuff like Jason Bourne.
Yeah, it's also reminiscent of those. Although, like I said, while there is suspension of disbelief in terms of, being injured and stuff like that, it's not operating on a sci-fi scale of super soldiers.
How did you miss?
That was a warning shot, Jova.
You missed! How did you miss?
Oh!
He was right in front of you!
Wait. I get it.
Yeah, Perkins, you do know this is a bit of a no-no, right?
How much are they paying her? So, let me get this. I'm guessing that one sniper... Okay, either he is still loyal to John, or he wants to kill John for himself, so he did that as a warning shot.
Yeah,
just
basically
so John...
as a last favor to a friend.
Careful, John. That's Wonder Woman you're up against.
Ooh. Ambushing a man when he's injured. God, you're pathetic.
Hold on. I should answer that.
Yeah, time out.
Answer it when you're dead.
Quick tap out.
I'm reminded a bit of Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Yes. Oh!
You've ruined my TV.
Get the phone already, damn.
I guess he needs to take out the trash first.
The phone pick it up?
Again with the noise complaint.
Yeah, get the fuck out.
Yeah, about that dinner reservation. This does beg the question. How well did they pay her to break the rules?
Apparently 4 million.
That's a good amount of money.
Mm-hmm.
Although, funnily enough, this movie was made for $20 million, so... Huh, so I guess he'll let her go?
Considering who she was paid to deal with, I would have asked for more than 4 million.
I think I also saw
I would
this
have
guy
too.
already.
Wait.
Harry, let me see. Clark Peters, the guy who plays him.
Clark Peters.
He's American British, and he's mainly known for playing Lester Fremon in The Wire.
Yeah, I probably saw him there.
Well,
So yeah, now we're at the church, which is really a front for the main
Demoni
Russian...
operation, yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, let us pray together, Vigo. Rude. No swearing in a church, Father.
Go for a little confessional.
Oh, they have these people everywhere.
I mean, you're already dead.
And I won't?
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
like we killed for someone else anyway.
Also, every time the other style subs come up, I'm just going to assume it's a threat.
It's usually for that, or it's when they're announcing who's like the next assassin they're sending in to kill with.
Have a nice day.
Oh, he's taking their money.
Adding a little
In a
more
way.
chaos, you know. Everything burns indeed. Even
I'm
the
a-
big
Wow.
one.
Now
Oh,
no one
but-
gets the money.
I'm
Wait,
only burning... Actually, I'm going to burn all of it.
wait, so essentially John Wick is what would happen if the Joker were a good guy. Seriously, murders people with pencils, burns the mafia's money.
So Gotham White Knight. God, if
Oh,
it's called like that. Or
God,
Batman White
I
Knight.
remember that story. Jesus.
Interesting premise, not so much execution.
Very faulty execution. Though props on them bringing back the Jack Napier name.
So, yeah, the priest is dead.
I mean, what do you think was gonna happen?
But the priest was going to get off with a warning.
So, how you doing, Miss Perkins?
Ow.
No, Bob.
Essentially, she broke her own palm so she can sleep out of the handcuff. Easy trick, I guess, if you're used to it. God damn it.
Damn, he seemed like such a cool guy.
Alas.
That's not what Bliat says, Sub.
That's an understatement. Why is school bus out here?
I guess it's a junkyard.
Could be. It's either that or
totaled cars and
it's either
vehicles,
that or
I guess.
it's either that or an impound lot.
This is gotta be, unless this is the weirdest spin-off episode of a Magical School Bus.
The Magic School Bus, the one where people are killed.
The worst part about it is that Carlos will still make a pun over the dead bodies.
Oh, he would find a way.
Or the Balamori bus. Like, what's the story in Balamori? There is none. Everyone's dead.
I should mention, actually, the only scene in this movie that isn't shot in New York City was actually when they filmed outside that church. It was actually in Los Angeles. The Emmanuel Presbyterian Church.
Presbyterian.
Yeah. John, how many times do you have to be sad?
Enough.
Okay. I guess it would have been too easy to have one of the villains being played by Hugo Weaving at this point.
You know, I wonder. Remember how in Commando the main character's name is John Matrix and, Keanu Reeves was in the Matrix? Did they name him John because of reference to that to make things go full circle?
John is a very, aside from something a common name, Jova, John is normally used to be a meme, especially these days, about generic protagonist name.
Yeah.
Like you see something.
Well, John Doe is legit the name for somebody.
You see something like generic quote from John Dark Souls as the name of a protagonist, stuff like that. To the point where when someone was reviewing a video game from the mid-2000s called Chaser, and the protagonist is literally called John Chaser, the reviewer was not believing it.
So it wasn't just money, but power he burned away.
What the fuck is this acting?
Oh, man. I see Bill and Ted seasoned you well for action, John. What does Ted tell Bill about his days as an assassin?
Best not to know.
I still haven't seen those movies. I have heard surprisingly good things about that most recent one.
It seems it was a good return to form, especially given how many years it had been since the last one.
It's probably the first film. It's the first film starring Keanu Reeves in a while that didn't have him have a beard.
I know, right? It was so surreal seeing him without that beard.
I mean, there was also the real-world scenes in Matrix 4.
Although he did keep the longer hair.
Oh, you just did not say that.
I'm sorry, what? Man, all that's missing is him saying, and I gave your wife cancer to kill her. With all due respect, all you had to do was keep your frickin' son in line.
I guess this is, to an extent, so this is the best, contraceptive commercial ever. Use a condom, or eventually someday an angry assassin might get back to you.
The boogeyman.
Oh no, you didn't say that again.
That's one of those you just signed your death sentence things.
Were you preparing that speech?
We're so back.
Well, there you go. He did give him an offer to just give him the sun, and that probably would have been the end of it. But it seems he has chosen poorly. Oh, I think Marcus is in his corner. That's nice. Okay, so kudos to Marcus. He was probably just pretending to take the job, but was actually using that as a means to keep an eye on John and be
or it might be a case of Vegeta syndrome. Only I can take him down.
That would be interesting.
That's nice of him.
Like, well, either way, though, he's kind of been John's guardian angel this whole time.
Or he takes the winning side, kind of thing.
I
It's also-
mean, let's be honest. When is against John ever going to be the winning side?
To be fair, around this time, not many people are that certain, I guess.
Oh god, and this is just the start. I can only imagine how much things will escalate.
Oh yeah, the body count will rise, so don't worry.
Also, Adria, okay, so we mentioned Reeves did most of his own stunts in the movie. Adrian Palacki also did her own stunts while she was fighting Wick.
That makes sense. Like, I mean, from her training as Wonder Woman, I assume that probably helped out.
No whip, though, alas.
Lasso, but yeah.
There we go.
So John Wick knows he can beat Wonder Woman. Good on him, I guess. That's not an easy feat.
Yeah, good night. Damn, those dinner reservationists are going to be busy.
Yes, they are. Oh. What's he going to get?
Out, hopefully.
Oh.
He was trying to find Vigo's car.
Wait, I was only trying to...
I was just kidding.
Where's that? No, you haven't done it yet. You haven't made the call. Father of the Year, everybody, giving up his son to save his own pathetic hide.
I mean, remember, he used...
I mean, his son's a piece of shit, I know, but still.
Remember, he used his son as bait earlier.
Oh. What's he playing?
Probably called.
No, it's the cheap Lionsgate version, Doc.
Of course.
It's called in reverse, get it?
The duty of calling.
Yeah, might as well light it up at this point.
But it's fun.
Check. 3.
Wait, who was that voice?
I guess we don't care. It's just a matter of checking.
Oh.
Well, now he'll stop playing.
Fucking campers.
Oh. Ah, this card is worth a fortune. Telling them in the evil villain car shop.
So that way the guy cannot escape on vehicle. Yeah.
Wick's very good at preparing, it seems. One to the gut. It'll definitely slow him down, but not necessarily enough to kill him immediately.
You will suffer as I suffered. What?
Just a fuck. Yeah.
Yeah.
You were right, Shiri. Most of the stylized words are insults.
Yeah.
I thought that was the safest to assume.
Get the phone. Yellow. Sir, this was the pizza delivery. What are you talking about?
Man, and Father's Day was coming up. I was expecting a good present from my son.
On the plus side, you don't have to pay any more child support.
Damn. Yeah, you save a bit of money when your kids are dead.
Oh, that's sweet.
Very
Appreciate
nice.
it.
So, the contract has been called off, and he killed...
Movie's over, right?
But there's still under half an hour left.
Well, I'm sure it'll be him settling down. Oh, and a
Well, we do know
spiffy.
someone. We do know that someone is still around, probably hunting him.
The sequels are just him winding down, getting some new hobbies.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Like fishing, gaming, card collecting. It'll be fun.
Crocheting.
Maybe he'll take a polo. Chosen one has to be saved by the Green Goblin.
In New York, no less.
Yeah.
This was where I threatened to drop those kids over there. Wait a minute.
Sense some disturbance in the force. It's kind of like reminds me of the Blues Brothers movie where Carrie-Anne Moss is constantly hunting down John Belushi.
Wait, Carrie-Anne Moss? Don't you mean,
Sorry, Carrie Fisher. My
yeah.
bad. My apologies. Oh, right.
No obvious tails to be found here.
Hi.
Whoa.
Oh.
What?
Yeah, remember when you don't do what you're told?
And Perkins was watching them, so...
You're welcome.
Oh boy. Oh, so you actually did care about your son.
I mean, I think they kind of showed that he did, like, he's a shit father, but like he did like ask, hey, can we like arrange something else? Maybe, I don't know.
I guess I just find it funny seeing as how, he did use his son as bait.
Ow.
Eh?
Yeah. Well, I mean, this isn't too surprising. I mean, I think Defoe do most of his own stunts in
Yeah, Spider-Man.
No Way
he
Home,
did.
No Way
yes.
Home.
He also did in, like, the original Raimi trilogy. Well,
Yeah.
Spider-Man 2010, yeah.
Yeah.
2002. Well, it's a quicker death, so that's what he wanted. Well, he even double tapped. How nice.
I mean, he's making sure.
I mean, honestly, in this universe, you absolutely want to make sure, but of course, so he found one other way to bring John back to him. So what's their plan? Run away forever now from Wick?
Possibly establish a new base somewhere else.
So it's
How many movies are there? 3 or 4?
4, I believe.
Right
Four.
now, plus a spin-off.
So this is essentially the bad guys going, nah, 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 we got ours, and essentially playing keep away.
The desire to have the last word, yes.
So...
Oh. But, yeah, Perkins got a call from the concierge. No, so not the concierge, the Miss
The
Sharon.
organization.
So now it's not just for his dog, but now it's also for his friend.
Mm-hmm.
His friend who really did stick his neck out for him. And what about you, the woman who sold him out?
And also broke the rules. Oh.
The council will decide your fate.
I'm surprised she even came willingly, knowing what was coming.
Yeah.
Well, there you are. What did she expect was going to happen?
Time to clean up again.
Seriously, these guys are kept in good business, it seems.
Again, it's a well-oiled machine, so every gear needs to do their part.
I am also not telling you the exact address to where you can lay thy vengeance down.
Oh yeah, I didn't mention earlier. One of the guys wearing one of the red shirts earlier.
Yeah.
He was actually played by Daniel Bernhardt, who was one of the agents in Matrix Reloaded.
Hey, we're incorporating the driving from the
So
beginning.
basically, this is a low-key Matrix reunion.
Mm-hmm. Although, Jove, if you want to have another example of a movie that tries to be kind of like this, but that's definitely try to be more humor for self-aware with varying result, it depends on your taste. There's Killer Bean Forever.
Yeah, I've heard of that
It
movie.
is done by one of the people who did some of the special effects, I think, or was a stunt coordinator for The Matrix.
So what is it, like John Wick but with beans?
Yes. And again, there's a big degree of self-awareness.
So, Vigo, your thoughts for this time? Like, the dude looks like he is completely out of it.
I was just trying to have a Sunday drive.
Why do I get the feeling
You left our guns at home.
Shit. We're not allowed to... Like, you're enjoying this too much.
I get the feeling that Vigo is pretty much just going YOLO at this point.
Yeah.
Ow.
Kill him.
Really?
Kill him.
Yep, see, threats.
After everyone else has failed, you're sure these guys are gonna be the one to take out Wick? That's some legit Carfu right there.
Get to the chopper.
Oh.
Well,
Please don't kill me. I'm the lawyer.
Oh,
As we
then
say-
you're
as
especially
we say-
going to die.
Dwibs, as they said, the lost children said in Hook, kill the lawyer.
Yep.
I guess Vigo's got the right idea. Smoke him if you got him.
Oh, we found a gun.
Good luck.
A lawyer versus John Wick. How's this gonna go?
I mean, I guess if Phoenix can hold his ground against Chris Redfield, I guess anything's possible.
You see, though, Phoenix has had time out on the field. This lawyer seems like he's new to gunfights. Really? He was so confident
Yeah.
after that one shot that didn't even hit Wick. I don't know what was going through his mind.
Ow. Well, I know what's going through his mind. Glass.
Ouch.
Oh,
Oh! Okay, so it's a car duel, I see.
so who goes in the water first?
You know, I'm surprised that this apparently didn't get a video game adaptation. No, that was a perfectly good car!
It also started raining.
How fitting.
And now I'm having Vietnam flashbacks to the Max Payne movie. God, that was terrible.
Where'd he go? Is he... No way.
Already to the chopper.
How did he get over there so quickly?
He's bad when he can teleport. Sure. got
Hey,
any
laughing
time, also
boy.
this cliché.
No more bullets.
Fist fight.
By the way, I lied.
Round
Oh,
one.
bullets?
Fight.
Let me see that thing. Let me see that thing, Jova.
Here you go.
Ladies and gentlemen, the preview for the upcoming Street Fighter-esque John Wick video game.
Actually, has John Wick... No, he wasn't even in Mortal Kombat.
Deji suggested it should be added in Mortal Kombat, but I can see, but at the same time, like I don't know, considering he's mostly relying on gun, he will have to be too similar to Striker in terms of moveset, and he already is as an assist.
Not a fighting game.
Already,
Okay.
we're getting also Peacemaker in the first battle pass, so...
Yeah, sure.
Is John Wick in Dead by Daylight yet?
Oh, I
Oh.
don't think so, because that tends to have mainly just horror icons.
Wasn't he
Or this is
I
more
feel like...
action thriller.
God, so don't tell me the only crossover he is legit in game-wise is Fortnite.
I already told you, Drova, Payday 2.
He is willing to let him stab him just so he can get in close enough to break his arm. God damn.
And also to have the knife.
Ooh, shoulder wound. That is going to hurt. Okay, so now they're both pretty handicapped.
Oh, I know this one. Now they have to get up and stab each other with the nanomachine syringes.
That knife is laced with nanomachines.
Of course.
Plot twist, John Wick was actually in the Metal Gear universe all along.
It's not that surprising.
John, when you're done actually killing this guy, get to safety because you're probably catching pneumonia right now.
Pneumonia and bleeding out.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess that killed him.
Close to an artery, drove that position of the knife. Basically, if you check on the right side of your neck, one of your major arteries actually passes through there. It's a very good weak spot. And that's why in vampire folklore they always bite down there.
And so John Wick survives for another few movies at least.
Mm-hmm.
What, are you implying he'll
that's kind of part of the formula. By the end of the movies, John is, in a state of where he might be dead or might be not.
Oh, and this is how we got to where we were at the start of the movie, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
But he didn't die. No, he fought on.
To 313, wherever that is.
That's a Donald Duck's car license plate.
I hope you don't mind.
Oh!
Sorry if I brought some teal.
An animal clinic? No, don't tell me he came here just to get another dog.
No, it's also it's more ironic, but it's here to find any kind of medicine, even if it's cry for dogs. Disinfectant and stuff.
I mean, he can't exactly get to a hospital anytime soon. So.
Stapling the wound closed, too.
Yeah.
Agony.
Oh.
Ah, Pitbull.
You're not a beagle, but you'll do.
Hey, what's that thing on its chart say? Oh, it's scheduled to be euthanized. Well, I guess that means nobody will miss it.
Basically. Outcast like him.
Although hopefully it doesn't have a disease that's slowly killing it, and that's why it was scheduled to be put down.
Doesn't seem like it.
I wouldn't be surprised. Considering the breed, I wouldn't be surprised if it was scheduled to be put down because it's a pit.
Yeah, people tend to be stigmatized a lot, Drova.
They're illegal in this country.
Really? That's a shame. Like, over here we have
They're lovely dogs.
Oh yeah, like we have our fair share of friendly pit bulls here, but yeah,
it's mostly a case of bad owners, Drova.
Yes. I am aware of the unfortunate reputation some have. But hey, so John Wick got a new dog out of the deal.
Yay.
And yes, I just checked ahead. There are no post-credit scenes.
Now here's hoping. So here's hoping nobody kills this one. Otherwise, well, you've just brought it on yourselves.
We have a couple of sequels to go, but final thoughts.
Alright, yeah, I mean, Yeah, out of all the John Wick movies, I have to say this is actually, I'd say, one of my favourite ones of the bunch, mainly because of how simple it is. It plants nice little nuggets for the world building that we're going to get more of in the next few movies.
Mm-hmm.
I do like the music, which proves that Tyler Bates didn't have to rip off a bunch of tracks from 300 to make a good score. Or 300, I should say. And Keanu Reeves is in his element here. He plays a mostly stoic assassin who lets his actions speak for him more than his words.
Actually,
Which is something that Reeves was best at anyway. Although he did get that good speech to the Russian boss in that after he destroyed the stuff in the church.
you know, that actually makes me wonder. He adopts a pit bull. Is the movie using that as a metaphor that John Wick himself is like a pit bull? Very violent reputation, but he can actually be nice when you get to know him and, you know, don't cross him.
I suppose. And also the action. After a bunch of movies of this ilk, as in like, you know, not that expensive action movies. After hearing about all that horrible stuff involving constant quick cuts, like in films from Olivier Megaton, seeing something like this was a breath of fresh air. And well, hey, nothing wrong with a cheap action movie every once in a while, as long as it's good. So, you know, which is funny because as the films went on, they got more and more expensive to the point where the fourth movie cost $100 million.
Damn, so many stunt doubles here.
Wow.
Well, hey, they all got paid, so well done.
I guess it just showed, you know, how, again, even from the smallest of beginnings, something can really grow.
Mm-hmm. So overall, I really enjoyed this flick. We'll get to the sequels at some point in the future, but for now, here we are, the simplest of all the movies. And if you prefer your action films to be a bit more on the simple side, the next few films are probably gonna, well, not disappoint you exactly, but they'll add a few more wrinkles.
I guess if you want to ignore them, just pretend that the series ends with this. You can easily do that.
Yeah.
So.
I will say
and then John Wick walked off with a dog to, I know, hospital.
Like, there's no real sequel, babe, when you get down to it.
Like, honestly, I guess that's a good thing. Like, well, yes, there's room for more, but it can also end just as quietly, too. Like, he's going to live his life anew, especially since it seems like hearing his wife's voice again did give him the will to live on. So that's good and all. Okay. I may not be as familiar with the franchise, but I don't recall ever hearing any particular overly negative reaction to any of the sequels. So is there?
I know that the more recent movie has a bit of a slight divisive, I think, but not even to the extent of people thinking it's a bad movie.
Yeah, like at most I've heard people be a bit split on 4, and again I don't know the details, but like from what I've heard, none of the movies got outright hatred.
Well, we'll see for ourselves later on, especially for John Wick, especially for like Tio said, John Wick Chapter 4, or as it's called in Japan, John Wick Consequences.
Interesting. All right, who's next?
I guess I'll go
sorry.
next. I'll be pretty short anyway because I don't have a whole lot to say. I just really enjoyed this movie, I guess. I'm glad there are no quick cuts, as you suggested, because this would probably be unwatchable if it wasn't. But yeah, it's just a good movie. I guess the lesson here, kids, is don't mess with people's dogs.
Yeah.
Especially if they were given by somebody of sentimental value.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you do, the person will come after your entire bloodline. And there's 3 more movies of this.
Oh boy!
And I've only seen the second one, so I've only seen up to the second one, so that'll be interesting. The music is good. Some interesting visuals, I guess, and yeah, I think that's it actually.
All right, Pedro.
No, it's just a kick-ass action movie, and it's all there is me to say. Keanu Reeves is his big return to form, and he hasn't left it since. The only film of him is that the only thing in general that I disliked from him that he was after this was Toy Story 4, and that movie wasn't his fault. So, and he's done a great job following this up with a lot of great stuff. So, yeah, awesome. It's nice to see that Keanu Reeves he also did great in the Bill and Ted 3 as well, like returning to, he's kind of did this thing where he's kind of trying to return to his roots, you know, so pretty cool about that. Yeah, nothing much more to say. It's just a kick-ass action movie where everything is well shot. The characters, for as simple as they are still very enjoyable, and yeah,
I'll go next. Yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. Like, it's a movie that excels in its simplicity. You have a simple plot. A dude who seems normal gets messed with. Then you realize exactly why you shouldn't mess with him, and the rest is history. Those guys are toast. Now, both sides have a go at each other, and both sides just cannot let it go, to the point where Vigo kills the dude's friend, and, well, from there it's full-on war. It's also interesting to see that there's more complex details going on in the background. Like, I guess the best way to sum it up is that the main story itself is simple, but in the background you can see a lot more complex things going about, like the inner network of the assassins, the whole working of the mafia, and whatnot. Again, it's a very, very nice pattern overall work. And it gives you just a good old simple cathartic end. The bad guy gets his, John Wick finds the will to live on, and he even gets a new dog out of the deal, and well, given how pit bulls can be, this one probably won't go down as easy, if ever. But seriously though, treat it like the good boy that it is, John. Treat it well. Because, you know, my aunt and uncle have a pit bull, and he is very reliable.
And yet you were chased by a chihuahua while getting the school bus driver.
Oh my god, I told you about that story. I legit forgot
multiple
doing
times.
that.
Chihuahuas aren't dogs.
Demons.
They are Satan in a contained form.
That's just the ironic thing. Like, the big dogs I've been fine with. It's the smaller dogs that have been more demonic.
So
I literally said hi to a Chihuahua once, and they acted like I insulted their entire family. It was something.
So Chihuahuas are the dog equivalent of what the cats in Suzume are. Gotcha.
Like, seriously though, Chihuahuas always seem to have a beef with everyone for some reason. But yeah, no, this is a great start to the franchise. What else? It's the literal start of the franchise. But it's definitely a good sign of how Keanu Reeves was definitely on a track to redeem his reputation in Hollywood and the big movie scene overall. The music works for each scene. The action is pretty great. And I guess what's really impressive is just seeing how they did all this. Got a pretty great cast and everything with the limited budget that they had. Like, even back then, 20 million was not the biggest film budget you could get. But lo and behold, it worked out great. Showed that, yes, an R-rated film can do wonders if you give it the loving care that it needs. And, well, given the fact that this franchise has no less than 4 movies and a series in the works, yeah, I'm gonna say it was a success. Well done, and I look forward to what comes next.
While I don't particularly follow the genre, these kind of movies, it's still enjoyable, you know, as a time waster on its own. it's also interesting to see as a time capsule kind of thing because these days a lot of movies tends to always end with a sequel bait or being connected to larger mediums. So see something that has world building but stays in its own bubble is admittedly refreshing potentially. Of course, the sequels will expand upon this, but still fascinating for this kind of project and you know good score on Summit and Lionsgate part, for managing to create another big franchise that they now, proudly own. But then again, they revitalized the Saw series recently, so there is that too.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but if I had to say, the one thing that that I wish was slightly different was the execution of the girl assassin, because instead of John managing to get revenge even on her, it's the concierge who actually get to her for breach of contract, which does make sense, but it kind of removes a bit of a personal kind of struggle that John had with her,
And I
especially
guess
because she was the one that almost killed William Defoe's character, so a bit of a connection there too.
my question is, in story, she must have known what was coming when she went there, so why not have her try and skip town and run, and then the concierge gives...
It's showcase. It's showcased throughout the movie, Jova. She's probably a bit of a not as expert and a bit of a hothead, meaning that she bypasses this kind of potential, logical sequence. Remember when he also wanted to get information, she was for a good chunk was willing also to die just not giving to him. So there is that too.
Though she did
Um,
eventually sing like a canary, but I do agree with you that her death is a bit anticlimactic compared to everyone else's.
It's useful for establish again the world building, the idea that the concierge is kept properly with these rules. I also enjoy the fact that this is a story about revenge that, while not necessarily glorifying it, does not even hammer into your head how pointless it is, because John got his revenge fair square, no strings attached, and that was it. No wallowing about it, no feeling empty afterward, just walking around perfectly fine, which I appreciate. But I guess that's kind of it. Okay, I guess if I had to say, maybe toning a bit down the teal filter would have been appreciated. I like the idea of the neon effects for some of the fight, a bit less the nightclub scene, but that's, up to your taste, because I know there is a fan base for that kind of sequence. But the filters like purple, neon, stuff like that, they do work in interesting effect. But the teal filter for some of the other scenes, I could have lived without it, admittedly. It wasn't particularly necessary. I get they maybe used to mask some of the effects, potentially the practical ones, I suppose. Not really. The only other thing that I guess I can mention is that the Beagle's actor sometimes doesn't seem like he's acting decently enough, like during the interrogation scene with John in the warehouse. But for the most part, the acting works fine. So there is that. As Dwibs said, we will get to the sequels eventually. No real to rush them now, but that was his birthday peak, and Christmas is getting closer, and we have some monsters to catch. Oh, see after that.
Joy.